Donald Trump just had a disastrous meltdown in the Oval Office during a press conference with the president of Poland. Trump says he's the first president to have the most successful 8 months of presidency in history. No one should be talking about the Epstein hoax. He says all of the Epstein survivors you've seen it today on the Capitol Hill, it's one big hoax. Just talk about me only me and what I've done, not them. Here's the clip.
I think it's enough, because I think we should talk about the greatness of our country and the success that we're having. I think we're probably having, according to what I read, even from 2 people in this room, we're having the most successful 8 months of any president ever. And that's what I want to talk about. That's what we should be talking about, not the Epstein.
Trump continued to call the Epstein file the sex trafficking Epstein case. Survivors, he called it all the Democratic hoax. Victims are hoax, and they said all this in the Oval Office with the president of Poland. Here's the
there have been survivors of Jeffrey Epstein speaking at a press conference on Capitol Hill. They're calling for these case files, these documents to be released. And Thomas Massie, who was sponsoring a discharge position to get the House to vote on releasing those documents, says he doesn't believe you're implicated in these files, but many of your friends and donors may be, and he says that's why the Justice Department is redacting them and slow-walking the release. Is the Justice Department protecting any friends or donors, sir?
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends. You know, it reminds me a little of the Kennedy situation. We gave him everything over and over again, more and more and more, and nobody's ever satisfied. From what I understand, I could check, but from what I understand, thousands of pages of documents have been given. But it's really a Democrat hoax, because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president. Even if you look at D.C. right now.
He continues saying, I ended 7 wars around the world. Why don't you talk about that? Stop talking about Epstein hoax. He can't stop saying it. Here's the clip.
So what they're trying to do with the Epstein hoax is get people to talk about that instead of speaking about the tremendous success, like ending 7 wars. I ended 7 wars. Nobody's going to talk about, because they're going to talk about the Epstein whatever. I understand that we were subpoenaed to give files, and I understand we've given thousands of pages of files. And I know that no matter what you do, it's going to keep going. And I think it's enough, because I think we should talk about the greatness of our country and the success that we're having. I think we're probably having, according to what I read, even from 2 people in this room, we're having the most successful 8 months of any president ever. And that's what I want to talk about. That's what we should be talking about, not the Epstein hoax.
Then when Trump was asked about ending the Russia-Ukraine war, he said, I thought that would be the much easiest, maybe one of the easiest. War is complex and dangerous. Here's the clip.
I thought that would be much easier. I thought that would be in the middle of the pack, maybe one of the easiest. Sometimes you never know with war. You know, war is a very interesting thing. You never know with war. War is complex and dangerous, and what a mess, what a bloody mess.
Then there is this reporter from Poland asked Trump, you said you are disappointed with Putin, but you haven't taken any action since you taking office. Trump says, how do you know? Who are you with? Then the reporter says, Polish media. Then Trump says, I think you ought to get yourself a new job. Here's the clip.
You've expressed many times your frustration and disappointment with Putin, but there's no action since you took your office.
How do you know there's no action?
But
really?
Don't you worry?
Wait. Who are you with?
I'm with Polish radio.
Okay. How do you know there's no action? Would you say that putting secondary sanctions on India, the largest purchaser outside of China, they're almost equal, would you say there was no action? That cost hundreds of billions of dollars to Russia. You call that no action? And I haven't done phase 2 yet, or phase 3. But when you say there's no action, I think you ought to get yourself a new job, because...
Next is when Trump was asked about Putin and Kim Jong-un attending this military parade in China. Donald Trump says, my relationship with all of them is very good. Here is the clip.
We saw a dramatic picture where we saw the leaders of Russia and North Korea and China together. The first time the leaders of those 3 countries have been together in this sort of show of solidarity. You said that they're conspiring against the United States. What do you think they're conspiring to do? And given this, is it reason why you should slap or would consider slapping secondary sanctions on Russia if they're conspiring against the U.S. now?
Well, I've already done that with regard to India, and we're doing it with regard to other things. And I put out a truth last night. You saw that. And I was the one that brought it up. I said, they're only doing this. They're looking to, when they did what they did, I thought it was a beautiful ceremony. I thought it was very, very impressive. But I understood the reason they were doing it, and they were hoping I was watching, and I was watching. My relationship with all of them is very good. We're going to find out how good it is over the next week or two. I think that we helped China very much, as you know, when they talk about freedom. And I don't believe that, and maybe I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't believe that America, that the United States was acknowledged for helping China to gain its freedom. But perhaps that was just a sleight of hand. I mean, I was very surprised. I watched the speech last night. President Xi's a friend of mine, but I thought that the United States should have been mentioned last night during that speech because we helped China very, very much.
I don't know why Trump can't stop talking about Gavin Newsom, because all of that one, he jumped up to Gavin Newsom of California, and he's talking about Gavin Newsom's hand. He says, I watch him with hands. I'm saying what's going on with hands. Here's the clip.
This is grossly incompetent. And Newsom, this is a very incompetent guy. I watched him with the hands. I'm saying, what's going on with the hands? There's something wrong with him. Do you watch him? There's something wrong with this guy. But
in this one, Trump continues saying that Newsom didn't allow the water to come from the Pacific Northwest to stop the wildfire. You remember that? It was me who helped him. If it wasn't me, Donald Trump, he was finished. Here is the clip.
Northwest, you know, they have tremendous amounts of water in California. People don't know. They send the water out to the Pacific Ocean. So I demanded it be open. If that were open during the fire, before the fire, you wouldn't have had the fire because all the sprinklers would have worked in the houses. They had no water. They had no water in the fire hydrants. You wouldn't have had the fires. It would have been put out after one house, two houses. But he stopped the water from coming in. And I had to send in the military to have that water opened after the fires. And now they have water, but he should have more because they've restricted, they still restrict it. There's something wrong with these people. There's something really wrong.
Then Gavin Newsom, after that disastrous press conference, he posted this. Do people with dementia repeat the same falsehoods and crazy conspiracies over and over again? That's because Gavin Newsom posting after all that disastrous press conference. Okay, that's what we've yapped about today, about Trump's press conference and everything that transpired. Thank you for watching. Try to give thumbs up the video. Don't forget to go down and comment about what you think about this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's make 100 subscribers. Brush up.